If you don't think Jerome Powell has a little influence over the stock market, just take a look at the action today after he spoke. And he cut interest rates a quarter point, but he didn't promise the rate cuts that the market thought they were going to get in 2025 and 2026. So the market throws a tantrum, and we could see here on a 5-minute chart that's just selling all afternoon. And that was the worst day on the Nasdaq since July 24th of this year, when it was down 3.64%. Yeah, back on July 24th, it was down 3.56% today, which is enough pain, 716 points. Close at 19,392. I mean, just 2 days ago, it closed at 20,173. So that's at nearly 1,000 point fall off there for the Nasdaq. Slice it's 21. What I'm more concerned with here is that in the last 8 sessions, we've had 4 distribution days, so they're starting to pile up here. There's one distribution day with a sell-off with the volume higher than the prior day. There's two, and the last 2 days, 3 and 4. So there's heavy volume selling today. 47% above the 50-day average. And the market just kind of threw a tantrum because it didn't get what it wanted with Powell not committing to further rates. And Powell blames tariffs, which is once again gets into politics, which, anytime you get into politics, just screws up your investments. So anyway, since the election now, I thought we were going to get at least a 15% or a 20% move, but that may change here as the Nasdaq is only up, little over 5% since the election now. So this is really a bummer. Slicing the 21, it sliced the 10 and the 21 with volume. That's no good by anybody, by any stretch. What you want to see tomorrow is maybe a lower open and then a reversal higher, maybe a bounce off that 21. But you got to look back at like I said, the last time this happened, when it was down 3.64% on July 24th. It was in the midst of this, three waves down. And I talked yesterday about I was expecting a little bit of a correction, not this soon, of course. There's your three-wave down last summer. But anyway, I did expect a little bit because we were 6.6, 6.5, above 6%, above the 50 SMA for the last few sessions here. And we know that that's not healthy. And the market usually, pulls back. There's a NASDAQ close 2 days ago, 6.6. Yesterday closed 6% above. So thought, maybe a little tame pull back to the 10 or maybe the 21, but it sliced the 21 with volume today. So I got to be a little more cautious until I see a bounce here. Because if you look, we'll go back to this 5-minute chart. I don't see any higher highs or higher lows here. It's just pretty much selling into the close. So tomorrow, like I said, what we want to see is maybe a little panic selling at the open and let the you know let the scaredy cats get out of the way, and then a reversal and we see some buying as we have a great backdrop for the market. We have a strong economy. Um, and the rates are coming down. I mean, that's good. Just not, they're not getting the cuts that they thought they were going to get. That's all. Or who knows? I mean, it's a meeting by meeting approach here. So who knows what happens between now and the next meeting. So anyway, just a lot of speculation, but they just threw a tantrum, and it's really pointless to go through all of the indexes, and all of the sectors were all down. They all sold off. There's a SPY slicing the 50 um, with volume here. This is the S&P 500, closed well below at 6,000 level. So maybe we're getting a little complacent, and now you get a little wake up call. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down 10 days in a row. The first time it's done that since what, 1974? Yeah, 50 years ago. So sliced its 50 with volume here. Look at all the distribution days piling up on the Dow Jones. And then the Russell, kind of the same thing. This one was down even worse, 4.43% today. So there's nothing good about a sell-off like this. I just take a look at the leading stocks and see how they perform. And a lot of them are going to come off the leading stock list with today's action. This is App 11, actually held up pretty well. It did slice its 21 there, 3.2% below the 21, down 7%, with the index being down 3.5%. That's 2 times the index. So that's kind of to be expected. VST, I was expecting a bounce here. Slice its 50, no good. VRT, I was expecting a bounce here. Sliced its 50. I mean, yeah, I mean, even the stronger stocks are getting hammered now. This is Intuitive Surgical trading down to its 50. Service now, one of your AI leaders in software. Slice, it's 21. I mean, this looks better than most. It's about all you can say. Walmart, even the giant retailer got hit today, nearly 2%, but still, it's 1.4% above its 21. GoDaddy, leading software name, pull back to its 21. So that's what I say tomorrow. You want to see maybe a little bit of a pullback in the morning and then bounce into the close tomorrow. It's at 200, not the end of the world for GoDaddy. CLBT, another stock that's been performing well, is actually up today. So I'd say that's a positive sign. 2.3% above the 21 and 1% above the 10, not bad. CRS Carpenter, which has been struggling now, it's below the 50, so it's adios muchachos for that stock. GE Vernova pulled back to its 50 today, so once again, we need to see a bounce here. Quanta Services pull back to the 50. STRL, this one it's gone ski. Yeah, bye-bye. So it's 5% below its 50. So that one's coming off the list. MicroStrategy, it was a strange. Bitcoin went down so much. It was down like 5,000 bucks today with the Fed announcement, which is kind of strange. But MicroStrategy down 10% today, and it's down below 350 now. It's 543 not long ago. This thing can't catch a bid. Reddit, another one that, holding up okay. I thought it would get support at the 5. I changed this green line to the 10 and it sliced at 10. And now it's selling off after hours more. Like I said, there'll probably be some panic selling. Maybe we can get Reddit down here at the 21. We'll see. It's been a very strong stock. Astera Labs pull back to its 10. Super strong stock, down 4%. More selling after hours. I think you're going to see that panic selling coming after hours and tomorrow morning. That would be expected. Datadog, how's the dog holding up? Yeah, pull back to its 21, not too bad. TGTX, sliced its 21. Light volume here on this one, so that one still looks okay. 7.2% above the 50 and 3.6% below the 21. Hanging in there, just barely hanging on. What else do we have here? Oh, DoorDash, yeah, Dash, pull back to the 50 today. Wow. Fix, this is the HVAC company, down below its 50 now, sliced its 53% below with heavy volume there. And it's adios muchachos for that one. Netflix pull back to its 21, so that looks pretty good. What you want to see is, yeah, bouncing. You want some bouncing off these moving average. Selling off is fine. The market's overbought, some profit taking and some panic selling. It's all fine, but eventually buyers have to come in and push these things up. And like, you got to be from Missouri, you got to say, you got to show me here. And if they don't show you, then you don't, there's no action to be taken. Morgan Stanley down below its 50 badly. This one's coming off 3.1% below. And Palantir, which has been a super strong stock, still, hanging above the 21. It's had kind of a bad week. It was above 80, right? Yeah, down 6% this week. So it's just a tough deal, folks. Tough deal. Deckers, I think it held above 200, right? 201. Yeah, so it's still, this one looks pretty good. Birkenstock had a good earnings report this morning. How did Burke hold up after that report? Yeah, it was up on the session, down near the lows though, but still, if you're up 2% on a day like today, yippee-ki-yay. I did Reddit, I did A-Lab, I did Datadog. Oh, Tesla, obviously one of the leading stocks. I made it to the Magnificent Seven here in a minute, or the Batman stocks. More panic selling after hours. Geez, down 46. Oh, wow, what's going on here? That's not down 46 points. It's down $10 after hours. So the market surge is messed up there. But it's you kind of expect that, as people look at this nasty day and they say, I'm just going to get out now. And they just panic sell. So anyway, keep your head about you. This is SoFi. This one was down and it closed 1% below its 21, which reminds me of stock that I had on the the list here. This one popped. It was up $39 today. It had a nice gain. It was bouncing like it was a 15% on the session or more. Look at that move. And then it sold off into the close like everything else. So they just sold everything. So it was indiscriminate selling here. Bros. So you just want to see which of the leading stocks are holding up, to this sell-off. Bros held the 21, so that's what you want to see. Which reminds me of Brinker, held the 21. That's what you want to see. VIK, which is Viking, the cruise lines. Oh man, pull back to the 50. Wow. Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings. How is this one holding up? Slice the 50. Wow. These ones have been super strong. Carnival, slice the 21. I mean, so what you do is just wait for a, buy signal, and that might take, it might be tomorrow, it might take a few days, it might take a few weeks, but no sense in rushing in. Anyway, I'm going to get to the, well, how did CRDO do today? Credo, sliced its 10, down nearly 5%, then Axon going into the NASDAQ 100, sliced its 21. Let's take a look at the Batman stocks. These ones got hit. Now, Broadcom had a gap here where the low is 211 of the gap day, and it's starting to breach that. There's only $10 above it, but it did that second gap day. It closed that gap right there at 230, undercut there, and now it's halfway through that bar from the gap day. So Broadcom looking kind of weak. Apple, I didn't see how this one responded. Still above the 10, closed at the lows of the session, only down a little more than 2%. So not a bad day for Apple. That's just the Powell. It was the Powell shakeup, man. So Powell has the juice, right? I showed you Tesla. Microsoft was having a rough day. Yeah, down to the 21. Meta, down to the 21. Um, Google and Amazon, these have been really powerful. She's almost getting down to that old buy point there. That would be nice. Amazon, uh, yeah, closed above its 21, nearly a percent above the 21. And then Nvidia. Nvidia was having a nice day today. We just got up to that 10 and got rejected there. Wow, closed at the lows of the session, like pretty much everything else. And then down after hours. Market surge is messed up. It's up after hours. Closed at 128.91. It's up 50 cents after hours. So you got to look at the 5-minute chart and just see that it's having a nice day. And then whoosh, man, there's your after hours quote. Yeah, 50 cents. So Nvidia looked like it had bottomed. If you want to, Nvidia is an important stock in this market. It made that bottom there at 132 here on this day, and then retested and actually undercut that 132 and made a new low of 131.80. And then this week made another new low, undercut the 131.80, and made a new low on Tuesday of 126.86. And a lot of folks I was chatting with think that's pretty much the low for Nvidia, and it was proving it today. Is it, it's kind of like holding that level here, right? Until what happened? Oh man, until Powell spoke. Powell was he was the Grinch today. So, um, yeah, all you can learn from today's session is that Powell is a very influential character in this stock market. And we learned that the hard way today. And all you can do is look at, the leading stocks. That'll, give you the gauge of the market. The leading stocks are not performing very well at all. I was going to mention, and anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Except for MC stock charts, I have a couple more things actually today. I want to talk about ARM because Masa-san promised the new administration 100 billion donation or whatever. He's going to create jobs, but this is not going to come from change from under his couch. He's going to have to cobble some bucks together. And he is a big owner of ARM, and so this is what ARM was selling off this week. Perspective, excuse me, speculation is that he'll probably sell some ARM stock to make that 100 billion nut to Trump. So we'll have to wait and see. Down 10% this week. So yeah, I don't know. That people talk a lot, and he might not make 100 billion investment. It might be 25 or 50 or who knows. These guys like to talk a lot. So anyway, that's why ARM's selling off. A couple of earnings after the bell, Micron Technology looked like it hit 88 and bottomed at 88, and it kind of been back up $3 off that low and after hours now, still down 12% as they guided lower. The earnings were fine, the revenues were fine, they just guided lower. So that was no good. And then Lennar, I didn't see Lennar if they had reported yet. Yeah, it looks like they did. Down 7.5%. And the housing market is just in a shambles, um, along with a few other sectors, but that's heavy volume selling here in Lennar. So anyway, that's it for me, except for in the honor of great Steve Jobs. I have one more thing, and I mentioned yesterday about, and I wanted to clarify these quantum computing stocks, they're going up, and I don't know how high they're going to go. They could go to the moon, but at some point they're going to come back down to earth. I've seen this 1,000 times, and it's the same profile. These things ramp up and then they sell off hard. So they come down as hard as they go up. This one was up 153% today, totally normal, right? Um, when the market was down a lot. This one's up 234% this week, and just on fumes. Not a lot of revenue here for a yeah. This has got a 290 million market cap, and it's got what 150, 300, I don't know, thousand in sales. Just losing money, losing nearly $5 this year, which is better than almost $6 last year. But just all these that are speculative plays, trading like the SPACs. This one is up 53% today. How much for the week? 283% for the week. So these ones are going to come down, folks. And I think they're going to bring some other stuff with them, is when they take out the trash. This is only up 12%. What a laggard, ARQ. But it was up 50, it's up 56% this week. And then QBTS, this one closed at 896, 79% move this week, down 15 after hours. So maybe they'll start coming down, who knows? But they go up fast, they come down fast. These things are trading on fumes. I mean, at one point, a 6 billion market cap for, 6 billion in sales. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's not 6 billion, 6 million in sales. So this thing's trading like a gazillion times sales, and they're going to come back down to earth at some point. So I just wanted to point that out. And that's yesterday I said that, I think people took me wrong, like we're gonna have a bear market. I don't think we're gonna have a bear market. We just had three bear markets in the last 6 years, 2018, 2020, and 2022. So I don't think we're gonna have a bear market. But I was expecting a correction in the NASDAQ, and then I didn't expect it today. But I expected something, something along the lines of this, where it trades below its 50, like right here, a slice below the 50, then a run up. This was a pretty nasty. This is a 16% correction here. I didn't expect anything that severe, but maybe something like this where it undercuts the 50 and then rallies back through. And maybe this is the start of it. I was expecting a good year in because rate cuts and the economy's good, but maybe the market's got some other ideas. We'll have to wait and see. But this warrants caution. 4 distribution days and a slice of the 21 with volume. So definitely you got to be cautious there. You can't just go willy-nilly whistling past the graveyard and thinking everything's going to be great, because this is institutional selling here, folks. And like I say, you just right now it depends on your entry, right? If you're let's just say you're holding an okay, I'll go to A lab. So you're holding an A lab and you got it here at 70, or on the gap here this day below 100, and you still got 20% gains. You don't want to give those all back, right? So you're waiting for a bounce here off the 10. If it doesn't get it, then you want to bounce off the 21. If it doesn't get it, then you're giving back all your gains, right? So that's where you have to make a decision of, do I want to hold on to this stuff, or do I just want to sell out and let the dust settle? And you can always hedge with something like an SQQQ if you want to hold on to stuff and just hedge your bets here. This one was up 11% today and up after hours. And that's what I expect tomorrow. At least in the morning, some selling, some panic selling into the open. What I want to see is some buying into the close. Once again, here with Reddit, say you got on this gap up, maybe at 120 or whatever, and you're holding it, it's at 160. You can afford to hold and wait and see, but you don't want to give back your gains. So either you can hedge, or just close the position and wait for everything to settle down, because it could be some time here. We don't know. It's Jerome Powell is playing the Grinch today, and he did a good job of it, and our portfolios are feeling it. So anyway, at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up.